winner of this is in the final. It's Jake on the break. It's exactly the same format as we've just seen in the quarters. Best of 2 sets, 40-minute set clock. Everything exactly as it was. But compared to that match between Jack Whelan and Chris Melling, the stakes have just ramped up even further. Place in the final awaits either one of these great players. And, well, we talked about Jake McCartney's break in the studio, and I'd like to say Jimmy Croxton has slid on over to join me in the commentary box as well. And this is as good as Jake McCartney's ever broken. You know, we can debate whether it's the best he's ever played generally and all the rest of it, but it's the best he's ever broken by a long way, isn't it, on a consistent level?
Absolutely, yeah, and it's such a big thing, you know. I mean, we've said it for years, the break is a massive part of the game, and, you know, we put so much emphasis on the break, but with the standard getting better and better, you know, the stakes are ramped higher and higher with the players that are coming onto the tour. You know, the conditions, you know, the heat of the arena, everything, you know, it makes the tables probably play a little bit bigger, the pockets play a little bit bigger. So it's more difficult to sort of contain your opponent. You know, the standard is sublime, so the break is massive, even more so than ever. So for him to sort of start finding that form now from the break is so big.
Yeah, it really is, and it is nothing else other than pure hard work as well. He has worked exceptionally hard. He
has, yeah, he absolutely has. I mean, speaking to obviously we speak daily when he's here. Like I say, he's a born-again Stokey. You know, he's one of us now, we say. So sorry to the guys back in Oz, but he's a Stokey. However, you know, we all know Jake is you know, off the table. He's different class. You know, he's one of the boys. He likes to have a beer and have a bit of a good time, and I know that has been cut right back. You know, I know that he's not been doing that. He has been coming into the club. He's been putting the hours in. He's been doing everything the correct way, as you would say, and it's showing, because he just looks so relaxed out there. Just looks like he's having a knock in the club with the lads. And you know, last night, and of course, you know, he obviously broke off here. I mean, I know that, you know, you can be fooled into thinking that these were quite a simple, straightforward finish.
No, they weren't.
However, you've still got to come out here, first frame of the day, you know, after last night's absolute thrill and buzz, and you've still got to knock them in under this pressure.
Shaun Storry's first break, and it will be the cut break for Shaun. He is a big experimenter, has practiced keenly over the last couple of days to get his house in order, decided what he's going to do. And if you can make balls like that off the cut break, with the added bonus of getting the 8-ball off and in motion, bringing that golden break potentially into play, then it's a decent route. And actually, this looks really clustered, but I think he could quite easily make a case for taking either colour set here.
I think he can, yeah. I think if the foremost red goes into the middle, which I think it does, then yeah, I mean, there's a case for both suits. Just going back to the break there, the cut break, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan in the world, but I think a lot of people have acknowledged over the last few days how effective it's been, certainly in this tournament. And
yeah.
People don't realise that the power that Shaun is generating from the cut break without losing the cue ball from the table is quite phenomenal. There's not many players in the world who are hitting it as good as that from the cut break.
No, agreed.
And I think he's had, what, 2 or 3 golden breaks in this tournament?
Well, he had 3 in the opening group. He had 2 in his first match, 1 in the group final against Callum Singleton.
So, you know, to be able to do that and not lose that cue ball, it is a skill in itself. I mean, I don't think we'll be in this commentary box for very long if they keep breaking and splitting like that. Could be an easy shift for us.
Yeah, we saw yesterday with Jake's performance that he's in great form, but with Shaun's as well, really played well against Ronan McCarthy. You have to against the reigning world champ at the minute. He's just too good. You don't get away with playing a bad one against a player as good as Ronan, and had to go through via 6-red shootout in the end. But that's another thing that Shaun prepares for very, very professionally. He prides himself on his 6-red work, and why wouldn't you, when you can consistently get the times that he does, and when it's in players in the stages that it is, a really important juncture of tournaments, you want that to be sharp as anything else.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to look at the consistency of Shaun Storry. You know, there's no surprise that he's always thereabouts in tournaments. I can't recall the last time I didn't see Shaun Storry's name in the latter end of a competition. So it just goes to show, you know, that the work that he does put in is paying off. And I'm not saying that necessarily works for everyone. Some players are better when they don't practice. I mean, I was speaking to Craig Waddingham just this morning. He says he barely picks up his cue.
His B game and his stickability in matches, that sort of unquantifiable ability,
oh wow,
to stay in it is really, really high. And I mean, that will be helped if Jake can go dry off a break like this.
Really got to start working on that break. I mean, just look at these. I'm in disbelief that one hasn't gone in from that break. You deserve to pot one from that sort of break. I'm sure Shaun will be delighted to be at the table here. Yeah, you're quite right, Steve. You know, about the B game. You know, you're only as good as your worst game.
Yep.
And that is the difference, you know, between that sort of elite 8 players, really, and everyone else. You know, it is so close into, you know, one good tournament, which, you know, any of the top sort of really 40, 50 players in the rankings are more than capable. Even some of the, what we'd call the amateurs still, do play at a professional level. Probably not as consistently, but they do. They're all capable of winning these events.
Yep.
On their A game. They turn up and play their absolute best pool, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna win events. But the difference between them, just a few elite players, is that their B game is that they, you know, they find a way to win, and that's the difference.
As he's mentioned a couple of times this week, though, in his interview, Shaun wants to be known less for his B game, though, and he wants to start playing his stuff. I'll tell you, he feels like he hasn't really played well to what he knows he can do all year, really. He still ended up in 10th position in the rankings. It's a scary proposition if he can if he can put it all together. And well, he says this week he started to feel it.
Yeah, I wish I was playing as bad as Shaun Storry. Yeah, it's like I say, the consistency is that is the key.
Well, 2-1 in front. He knows exactly what he wants to do.
If something's working, don't change it, so they say.
Nothing left to chance.
8 ball was moving. Again, another dry break.
Yeah, and we saw this in the first, well, in our last match, sorry, the final quarter-final, that, you know, when the breaks actually don't work sort of consistently and they're a little bit unpredictable, it can often make for a great match to watch, because often the splits are difficult and just a little bit more unreliable. Makes the players work that little bit harder. Having said that, for as dry a break as that was, it's actually come out a fairly nice split, and Jake will really fancy these yellows from here. Yeah,
it was a tricky first shot there as well. I mean, like I say, it's 2-1 down. you know, there's the pressure that the match brings in itself. I know that Jake says he pressures for ties and he doesn't feel pressure, but we all do to some point. How you handle it is the difference. However, you know, it was a tough shot because he's queuing right underneath the cushion, straight. So if you know, if you catch that little bit of side on the ball, he could have easily missed that first shot and put Shaun into what you'd say is a pretty routine finish at this level. But at this sort of pace, JMO, and you know, if the match keeps going in this kind of vein, we'll be able to have a bit of a break, watch a few soaps, maybe catch up on a film, and have the time. And because this is going to be over in you know, not very long at all if they keep knocking these sort of finishes in off the break.
Well, we saw it in our last match, didn't we? That we could have gone to a decider and still had about 8 minutes left on the match clock. That was the pace this game is being played at nowadays. I mean, you can speak to it yourself as a player, Jimmy. You know, the average pace of our Ultimate Pool players now compared to maybe this time last year is, I reckon there's 4 or 5 seconds shaved off per shot.
Yeah.
No one's hanging about. You know, it's not that uncommon to go through a few visits on a 30-second shot clock and not really hear a beep.
Yeah, I think with that used to now to sort of running round and, under that 15 seconds, that we've sort of adapted to it, and we're just all generally playing at that sort of pace anyway. So yeah, it is very, very quick paced. But let's be honest, it makes for great viewing.
Oh, doesn't it just?
Not very happy with that shot. Still okay, but it's fine margins. You know, it is literally millimetres this game, and if you're not quite right, yeah. So he's taking the other ball and he wanted to, but he's absolutely fine here. Just on and off the cushion, leave himself an angle just to again come off the same rail, closest to the yellow, and travel up the table at a 45-degree angle. He's not played a good one here. It's a poor shot. I think he can still chop it in, but that's a really poor shot. He had a lot of space to land in, and he's sort of over-screwed that.
Yep. Yeah, very unlike Jake, that.
Yeah, it's very surprising, that. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll still pot this. It's just where the cue ball's going to go. Oh.
Well, you called it. You called it. Absolutely spot on. That was user error, really. Having said that, he took out a little bit of extra frustration on that break, I feel like that. And he just lost the cue ball ever so slightly. But it's an absolute cruncher.
Yeah, he's clubbed them. Absolutely clubbed them. But Rory McIlroy will want his driver back for the next event, Jake, just to let you know. Again, a little bit of a tricky first one, bridging over the ball, but if he gets this, these should be, you know, really straightforward. And he missed. Oh, he knew that he'd hit it thick, but it's just found the pocket. Not exactly where he wanted to be, but he should be okay.
Yeah, he's fine, just. May have to come back down for that reds later on in the visit, which wouldn't have been his first plan. It will need to be his plan B.
Yeah, that'll be his last ball now, I feel. He doesn't want to be doing too much travelling. He does enough of that, coming from his second home in Australia, back home here to Stoke-on-Trent, so...
Yeah, very good.
I'm not letting it go, he's a Stokey, and that's that. He has got great support out there today, though. As we all do, you know. I think we're very lucky here to have these events at our club, and when any of us are playing, the support that we get from the local lads is phenomenal. So must give a little bit of a shout out to them guys. So, you know, regardless of who it is, they're always there She's always nice.
Yeah, it's currently 2:20 in the morning in Jake's hometown of Ballarat, Victoria, in Australia, and I dare say a fair few down under are watching before bed.
They're not sleeping. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Certainly know his partner Kira will be watching. She's been all over this.
Yeah.
Jake's biggest fan. As he left himself a bit straight on this one.
Do you know what? I think, can he pinch the pocket maybe? I mean, he's going after it with some pace.
Yeah, these two don't really link up very nicely at all.
The only other way is he could pinch the pocket on, so hitting the sort of red to the right-hand side of the pocket as he looks and screwing against the rail that he's closest to there with his hand. This is a tough shot. That's what he's done.
What a shot. What a shot. That's a great recovery. Doesn't matter too much that he's on the rail. He should be able just to avoid the yellows. Might have to dig into it a little bit.
I think he's got just enough angle just to drop out the other side and leave the 8-ball in the opposite middle. Yeah, he's fine. Just concentrate on the pot. Yeah, sure.
That's a great finish, and it's a better finish given what happened the frame before. It's about to be 3-2. It could so easily be a different score. Jake McCartney will feel like it should be, but
you know, one good tournament can get you right back up there. You know, you look at Dave McNamara, you know, you look at Cole Sutton. There's quite a few players you could name there that were sort of nowhere near where they felt they should be, you know.
Yeah, one run really changed their fortunes.
Absolutely right. So that just shows you how close this really is. That's the first break that we've seen where the balls haven't gone nice at all. So Shaun just playing a bit of a non-entity shot, really. Nothing really to sort of concern himself about. Just keeping them tight and but if this red goes to the top right pocket, he leaves himself an angle to go into the red that's tied up here in the cluster of yellows. And oh, is he screwing it back? Oh, what a shot. Oh, he's been a little bit unfortunate there.
Red ball's in play.
If that yellow doesn't go in front of that red, well, he's got half a sniff.
Yeah, I think he's been really unlucky here. Deserved a little bit better for my money there, Jake McCartney.
That's a nice shot. He's got another opportunity here now. He's going to screw into the yellows. It's just where the cue ball finishes here. He's trying his best. These are getting tougher and tougher and tougher.
Yeah, you get the sense he's just starting to reach a little bit.
Shaun will be quite happy that he's having a go at these because I think he's now committed. I think he's going to maybe try and pull something out of thin area. Oh.
No, just likes to row back, and I don't think that's a bad decision in all honesty.
It's not, but I think he wanted to cover the yellow at the top of the tail, and I don't think he has. So he won't be happy with that shot.
Shaun more than happy to dig in with a tactical battle if he feels the need to.
again there, Jake. I think he just wanted that a little bit more off the rail, so he had a ball in that area to be able to pot and go into the cluster if he needed to, but he's knocked it a little bit further than he wanted to, and that's now not an option. So Shaun will be happy there that the Reds rolled on a little bit.
That's a great shot.
See now though, Jimmy, see if that red hadn't have rolled on so far and it had stayed near the pocket, Jake would have had an option now to maybe dig in and go careening into that red and give himself an opportunity, whereas now that shot isn't there. So I think what you might find is he'll roll pocket weight onto this red and bring it just slightly off the rail.
Got to judge those ones well.
Again, it's gone a little bit too far. Hence the tap of the leg. Not happy with that. It's an out shot.
Tough one for Jake to try and work out. The pace that we spoke so highly of at the start of this match has just started to slow. And you just get the sense that Jake's clinging on, but he's made these yellows messier than they were, and that in its own way is an achievement. Well, when Shaun first came to the table, he did a good job of making it really difficult for Jake McCartney, but Jake has forced his way back into this tactical battle. Which colour set would you rather be here?
I'd rather be sat here with you, Jamie, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather be reds for sure, because there's a couple of balls there that you can use as developing balls, but yeah, they're not great. It's touching ball here though, so just plays away. Yeah, it's a nice shot.
Just to my point about how well Jake's done to push his way back into this match.
Try and play the turnover shot here. Well, needs to be careful though, because if he knocks it towards the pocket and leaves Jake an opportunity. If that doesn't drop, you see.
He's in all sorts of trouble, but it does, and it's a good shot.
If it doesn't drop, he has the ball over the pocket and he can just go into that cluster, and he's going to have to be really unlucky not to be on something. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good shot, but it was risky. Jake has still got an opportunity here to go long. The ball that he's queuing up towards now. Top left-hand pocket, as we look up the table, into them, but relying on a little bit of luck with the cue ball. Great pot, doesn't go. A little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it looks like Jake McCartney is going to meet his match in this frame.
Can I change my mind and go yellows? That's my preferred colour now.
Unless he can find some way to pull this out the fire.
Off the yellow double.
Oh, what a clever shot that is.
That's
wow.
Cat amongst the pigeons now.
I mean, he's going to be in all kinds of trouble in a moment.
Right, Jake, what you got?
Yeah, he played such a clever shot there, and just with the yellow tracking up the table as it did, it made the next shot for Shaun really, really simple. A little unlucky again. He's got to play it, doesn't have an extension.
It was a good effort.
Yeah, that was seriously tough.
It was a good effort. Another turnover shot here though, and Jake's in serious trouble. Look at this. And the issue here being, of course, is that even if he hits his red, chances are he's going to bring the yellows into play.
Yeah.
No. And I think that's why he's played it the way that he has. Just to keep them yellows tight and make Shaun do something. But, I mean, I think it's a little bit of a foregone conclusion. I'll never say never.
Yeah, and especially not with this fella around, but it does look to me, for all the world, like this is going to be Shaun Storry taking the frame away. Should be. Certainly should be from this stage. Doesn't have to rush though, because those yellows at the top of the table are still a huge problem. May just be he's just going to pop a yellow over that side of the table, give himself some help. He's now got a breakout ball. He's got the snooker for good measure. There's no prizes for winning frames quickly at this stage of the match. You just want to win it. Jake again just tries to put Shaun under some pressure. It's a pretty good shot. Might force Shaun to go here.
Yeah, I mean, if we cast our minds back to yesterday with Orfan, you know, he kept laying that shot, and it cost him in the end. So you can do a little bit too much overthinking, and you know. Well, he can come behind it and force something, fluke something. I mean, anything could happen here.
Can he get the red off that top knuckle and squeeze it in off the yellow even?
No, I don't think that shot's there, but he can come behind it and find something. I mean, if I'm honest, where the balls are at the minute, is it a case of just giving this a whack and relying on something?
Well, let's find out.
Oh, well.
He did try and take that on. Yeah, it didn't go though. Again, he's not left anything particularly easy. Shaun's got to really cue one in here. Well, he's not going to take it. Again, prepared to wait. Now, this one is a bit of a risk, because if Jake hits this red, he's got a very good chance of knocking it in. It's a difficult hit, sure. It's a very difficult hit.
Just past the middle pocket, hard. Just past the yellow here that Jake's now standing closer to, and it sort of almost checks up, straightens up the table, which is exactly what he's looking at. This is possible.
Yeah, it's tough,
but it's possible. Don't be surprised if he gets this. He's got it.
What a shot. What a shot. Oh. Jake McCartney with a worldie, and yet
I can't believe he's not played position on the 8-ball.
He's not been rewarded.
That is incredible. But look, Shaun was doing too much overthinking there, being too cautious, and he's been punished for it.
Well, has he though? Because I don't think Jake has to find a way to get this 8-ball towards a pocket.
He's got it. Oh no, he hasn't. Oh.
He couldn't fluke it, could he? No, it will stay up on the table, and eventually Shaun Storry will get his chance to win the frame. Goodness me.
A big sigh there from Shaun.
Oh, I should say.
It's, yeah, well, that'll certainly be an escape for the highlight reel. I mean, and Shaun should know, because I think he played one, I can't remember the tournament, Jamie, but he played one when he came off the side rail and chopped his last ball along the top rail, and it was literally like a piece of paper, the gap.
Yep.
I don't know if you can remember the shot that I'm talking about. It's certainly one of our highlight reels with Ultimate Pool.
Well,
and he's done the same.
I just think whenever you are going to play that game with the standard of these players, it is always such a risk. And Shaun may well, we may well speak to him afterwards, and he'll say, "No, I did the right thing every time I played the percentage shot. It was the right thing to do." But I do think you're dancing with the devil a little bit. In the end, he's going to win the frame, and that's all that will bother him.
barring a miracle here, it's 4-2. And quite a bit of time has been wasted there, so let's suit Shaun for the moment.
Yeah, it certainly will. However low the percentage, never rule out Jake McCartney. Has he got a ball off this break? Somehow he doesn't. I'm not sure he's left much though.
I think the yellow may go off the red into the top here.
He'll certainly be hoping so.
Extension call.
Shaun again, percentage pool, but he's left Jake half a chance here.
And we know Jake's aggressive. We know he's not afraid to take stuff on.
Shot. It's lovely because I think this is a 3-ball plant.
Yeah, I think so. Gets set pretty nice.
And it's also a bit of a shot to nothing as well, sort of leaving the cue ball. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Great shot.
He's a good shot maker, is Jake.
Oh, I mean, we saw that last night. Some of the shots he was making was absolutely ridiculous. Nearly took out one of the all-time great clearances against Mark Fleming early on. Just somehow ended up glued to the 8-ball in that visit. Couldn't play the final shot.
Just got to mind his work here. Just make sure that he puts the cue ball through, leaves himself an angle. Yeah, nice shot. I think the yellow sort of in the middle of the table, if you like, in the middle of the bottom end of the table, goes in the gap between the red and the 8-ball. Well, it didn't, but Jake's played a good shot there. Very good shot. Right, he's okay. He hasn't got to think about the cue ball, just concentrate on the pot. Make sure you don't miss the pot. Yeah, nice.
Very, very nice from Jake McCartney, and after all the rigmarole with that last frame, that one was pretty routine. Another cruncher, 8 balls close. It's going to stay up just as a cluster to deal with. How all 4 of them have just stayed together like that is quite remarkable, but Shaun with a little bit of work to do. Big shot here. Oh, I'm not even going to entertain it. Again, this is match management from Shaun Storry. Didn't fancy the reds. Knows he's got a lead. Knows there's 6.5 minutes on a 15-second shot clock. But Jake McCartney is having a look here. Can he go? I think he can. Yeah, he can.
Is that to stop? Oh.
Didn't want that to go. I think he's all right to the top left, though, just. If he isn't, he's incredibly unlucky. No, he's fine. Chance.
He's got to turn it over. He's played a great shot.
What a shot. Perfect angle there. You could see that he had to bend that slightly. That was a much, much better shot than it looked.
But he's got his work cut out here again, though, because all them reds around that yellow, he's got to land dead straight on this, and I think he's played it absolutely perfect. You know, just screw off the face of the yellows. He's got to catch it clean. Sorry, screw off the face of the reds. Oh, what a shot. What a shot, Jake McCartney.
Brilliant.
Great shot.
Absolutely brilliant. Jake had a spectacular one yesterday. Had multiple, in fact, both of them. But that one's going to be dry. So then Shaun Storry, 5 minutes left, 4-4, and this frame now takes on huge significance.
Extension call.
Yeah, and these are set out reasonably nicely. I think he'll certainly fancy, I certainly fancy him to get these.
Red balls in play.
Yeah, it's a nice opening shot just to sort of clear that, the middle bit of the table there, just to give himself a bit more margin for error with the cue ball. And moving a little bit quicker around the table now as we get to the business end of this first set. This is where you need good grips on your shoes. Move this quick. I remember having a 6-red shootout against Dave McNamara at one of the tours, and I put in a good time. I think it was 21 seconds or something, and I won. But through the clearance of Dave McNamara, he slipped. I don't think he didn't need too much, but it still, you know, that extra second can make all the difference.
Oh, it can.
So
it so easily can. The margins are razor thin.
It's a nice shot. Perfect little angle just to stun over here. Just needs to be cautious that, you know, middles can bounce out at pace. Just cue this nice. Yeah, it's a nice shot. Played it perfectly.
Just when he needed it, Shaun Storry goes back in front, and this set has been nip and tuck right from the get-go.
And for the viewers at home, we want to see a 6-red shootout all the time. It's so exciting to watch. What a break this is. Well, they're laid out as nice as you could ever want them to be laid out.
Yeah, I think you're pretty pleased here, aren't you, if you're Shaun Storry?
Extension called.
If he can get these, he's almost certainly won the set. And with Shaun Storry's prowess in 6 reds, as we talked about, it would feel like a big advantage. Oh, that's gone not nice. Sarcastic tap of the table from Storry. He knows that wasn't a good shot at all.
But again, it was the shot before. You know, he's not left himself the best. Okay, that's a poor shot. It's probably a little bit of a lack of concentration.
Both players talking to each other.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I think sometimes, you know, that they're still in good spirits, both of them, even though they know that a few errors are going in. It is nice. You don't really see that in a lot of other sports. You know, it's sort of very much game face on, which is what it is here. But you know, the players have such good relationships, and I think it's so refreshing to see. Yeah, and I think that Shaun again has played what we call the percentage shot there. He's made sure that he's not really left Jake a lot on, and he's covered a red down the rail here on the left hand side of the table, as you can see. So all the pressure here on Jake.
Oh, it's a great shot. Oh, we'd love to just stick that cue ball on the yellow and make it difficult for Shaun to snooker him. It's not a bad shot. Shaun's got one shot on here, and it's tough.
Yeah.
Cues it in, he wins the set.
Sure.
Yeah, that'll do it. That should be that.
I think he'd have much preferred to be on this one, though, that he snookered on. That's for sure.
Doesn't really need to worry all that much at this stage. Shaun Storry, he can use the full 15 seconds here. There's no time left for Jake McCartney, even if Shaun doesn't make this yellow. this set is over. And it will be Shaun Storry who takes the opening set. 5-4 the final score, and that one was in the balance for an awful long time. Jake McCartney, no intention of getting involved with running around the table there. He knew it was done. And a really entertaining set comes to an end. A terrific start, a terrific standard. McCartney and Storry, back and forth they went. But it's Shaun who eventually gets the victory in the set and goes 1-0 in front. He is guaranteed a 6-red shootout. 8-ball in motion, so too is that cue ball. Shaun wants that 8-ball to stop, in which case, and it does. And take a look at this for a first starter for Jake McCartney. This first frame may not last very long at all. Hammer of a break from Shaun Storry. He'll feel a little bit aggrieved that the white's gone in. But he just made sure the 8-ball wasn't going to. It would have been loss of frame. But Jake McCartney with a great chance to go 1-0 up in a set, and he's going to need to do exactly what we just saw Jack Whelan do against Chris Melling, come from 1-0 down, win the set, and win the 6-red shootout. That is the only thing he can do to qualify through to the Pro Cup final. Shaun Storry has 1 foot in the big one. Stephen Jameson and the Joker Jimmy Croxton joining you on commentary for this one.
Well, Jake's in good spirits. I just said to him there in the break that I mentioned about the snooker he got out of, and I said to him, I said, I thought you might have played position on the 8-ball, and he sort of had a good laugh. He said I was going to pot it eventually. So he's still in good spirits. So he's obviously feeling good out there, feeling relaxed, which is always a good sign. Ooh. He's okay, but he got into that one a little bit too much. He's going to have to sort of play this with a lot of run inside. Now, so left-hand side of the cue ball, as he looks. So right-hand side as we look, and you watch the spin with the spots. Oh,
what a shot!
He's called a foul on himself, which is great sportsmanship from Jake. Yeah, he's moved the yellow there with his arm. Yeah. Well,
yeah, he played a great shot with the red there, but just nudging the yellow open. That could be a costly foul.
But we go back to what I said before. You know, he didn't play a great shot, Jamie. You know, on his to get on into his penultimate ball. Yes, he played a great shot, but then he's sort of committed that foul, and it's again almost sort of like he's been punished for making that initial error. We see it so many times in this game.
There's so little margin for mistake or error. And there's even less now for Jake. He needs to be as close to perfect as he can be in this second set. That layout was lovely for either colour set, really.
Yeah, Shaun will be delighted there, really, because you wouldn't have expected him to get back to the table.
No. And when he caught those beautifully, cue ball stays on the table. What a hit that is. Absolute worldie.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
I mean, you could make a case really for any colour set here.
Yeah, just the one awkward one really, which is the one that's sort of on the back rail and being covered by. Well, it was going for the double first shot. What a shot that is.
I mean, that's confidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is all your eggs in one basket.
Misses that, he loses. He's potted it. He should win. I mean, you know, should win.
It's very rare that sort of cash ball in the frame is the first ball. And when it's a shot that you got to play like that, you know, some players would shy away from it. Not Jake. He does seem to have the rule and the run of these cushions, though. We saw him play a kickback treble yesterday, a massive double as well. We saw him get out of that fantastic snooker earlier on in this match.
Yeah, he's a great shot maker, is Jake. Oh. And just as we say it, the commentator's curse should win the frame. And an uncharacteristic miss from Jake.
Well, he's just tried to pinch the pocket. His concern there was not being on the red down the right side rail. So he's tried to put as little movement into the cue ball as possible and just pop that red as thick as possible into the middle pocket. The issue is, there's barely any margin for that. It was almost on the knuckle.
I don't personally think he needed to play that shot. Myself, I would probably gone a slightly different route, but we do all see it differently. It's not the best shot from Shaun. He wanted to land straight behind this so he could play it off the red and clear the pocket. And he's played a very, very poor shot there.
Yeah, you can see the little the giveaway sign, that sarcastic tap of the table. He's got to play a good shot himself here.
I think he'll be getting cushioned first. Oh, he's way too thick.
Yeah, that was tough.
He's got away with it. He has got away with quite a bit there, Shaun. Fortunate.
Well, we've seen Jake already put all his eggs in one basket in this frame. Is he going to take the long one up the rail? Pot it. And he wins the frame, you'd imagine. Crunch.
That is cueing at his absolute finest, and he needed that. You know, after the couple of errors he's made, you feel that he needed that. It does show you how much confidence he's playing with. He just needs to cut out them little errors. You know, bar that, he's playing very, very good pool. That's not landed the best, but he should be okay. It's just slightly offset plant, but he's got the angle on the cue ball to just bring the cue ball back out and still land on his ball.
That was a hell of a pot from Jake McCartney.
A little bit of right-hand side he'll play this with. He's not got it though.
Oh, it's going to sit in the pocket. Again, moment of magic, moment of madness.
And he knows that he's making too many errors.
The irony is he's making errors on the simple ones. He's making the difficult look easy, and he's making the easy look difficult at times. And you very rarely get much emotion out of Jake McCartney in his chair. He's usually the most relaxed customer in the house, but he looks as annoyed there as I've ever seen him. Is it the combination shot from Shaun? It is, but Jake might be able to follow him here. He played that with a degree of safety in mind because he knows worst way. The yellow's covering the hole. Can Jake find a gap?
I've got a feeling there's no gap there, but...
Oh, a shot. What a shot.
Wow.
That is an absolutely outstanding shot. Again, making the very difficult look very easy. We'll have a look at that again in a moment because that is one of the shots of the tournament.
Brilliant.
And down goes the 8 ball.
And he knows he's making them errors. To play a shot of that level.
8 ball. Heart in Shaun Storry's mouth again. He's in off the break again. Second time in the set, and one of the big pluses of the cut break is it's very difficult, really, to get the cue ball in off. And you can see how unlucky that is.
He watched there though in that break of it. I mean, it won't rerun back there, but he caught the front ball just ever so slightly as he hits that second ball. And I think the aim with the cut break is to catch that second ball as flush as you can. And he just caught the front ball and he's found the enough. we just analyse Jake's demeanour around the table a little bit, you know, he knows he's making a few errors. He's made another one there. You know, he's a few sort of deep sighs, if you like, and the way he's kind of walking around the table here at the moment is a little bit sort of deflated because he knows he's made a few errors. Little shake of the head. You can't help but thinking that he's just battling those demons at the moment, trying his best to forget about the, you know, those errors, but you know, he keeps making them, and
I mean,
he can't keep pulling out worldies, surely. I mean, yes, okay, he's brilliant at it, and he's a great player. That was nearly another one, but he can't keep doing it. You can't keep doing that consistently.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, we talked about his performance against Mark Fleming in the quarter-final. Yes, he pulled out some sensational finishes. We've seen his shot-making ability in this match. We saw it certainly in that Mark Fleming match. But what we did also see was the clinical side to Jake McCartney. You know, he didn't really make many mistakes at all. He's made more mistakes probably in this set than he's made for the rest of the tournament combined.
Yeah. And he'll be aware of that. You know, he's just got to keep his head up. He's such a positive player, you know. He's a great player, one of the best when he's on form. So he's just got to get over that. Just got to sort of refocus himself. Cut those little mistakes out, because, as you've said, you know, there's still a lot of pool to be played in this match.
It's a long, long way from being over. Good shot from Shaun to open things up here.
Just wanted to go fractionally further, just to make this. He's trying to kiss the yellow out that's on the left-hand rail here, but with the angle that he's got, he could double kiss this back on.
Yeah. If he's slightly further up, he comes into the bottom half of it, doesn't he? And it just kicks out naturally. Plus, it's a tougher pot. This, it really does need some good work here from Shaun Storry.
Yeah, this can go wrong.
Oh, he's played that really, really well.
He has,
although, look where that yellow's ended up.
I wonder if he's got just enough angle now, just to the one closest to the cue ball, top it through and get it again off the rail. But I'm not sure if that shot's there. He's looking at the double there.
Yeah, he could just leave the double. It's not in a bad position for it. Does play your shot and plays it really, really well.
I do know the shots, just because I can't play them. I know how to play the game.
Yeah, lovely finish this from Shaun. Deserved a little bit of luck, actually, because I thought he was quite unlucky to leave that yellow where he did after playing a pretty good breakout shot. Landed plumb on the angle to break it out again. Was a bit of run, but sometimes you earn that, and he goes 2-1 in front. Jake is crunching that break, and what I like about Jake, he's absolutely shameless. He will happily will that 8 ball into a hole. I mean, he's nearly hit that cue ball into orbit.
He nearly knocked it in twice.
Had a little look.
Yeah, he won't mind getting the golden break. But again, you know, look how nice these are. If this was practice, these would be in by now. Of course, there's a little bit of added pressure there. It's a match. You know, he's one set down. He's just going to take his time. Well, he's played a cannon there. I didn't think he needed to play, but I think he's okay. Again, you know, we all see it differently. I think he's fine here.
Yeah, he's actually run out quite nicely here.
But he has made it more difficult than it needed to be, I feel. But
yeah, this shot has to be a good one. And it's thin. You can see how he's having to cue it. Played that well. But he's not left himself anything simple.
Yeah, luckily there's enough space between, you know, sort of both reds, both ends of the table for him to hit one rail and hit the other rail without sort of canning into anything. So it shouldn't be too bad. He just plays this with the fraction, just a very slight fraction of right hand side for me, just to help the yellow into the pocket. Yeah, nice shot. Nope.
It's going to stay up. Just. Jake never looked settled on that clearance for me. Never really looked happy. Didn't have the cue ball where he wanted it once really in the visit.
No, and I think it was the first shot that did it. I don't think he needed to play that cannon.
Now I think the red goes to the top left. Don't think the yellow is blocking its path. And if it does, it really helps Shaun. If it doesn't, it's a problem. He's also probably going to
Topping this into the yellow, I think.
He tried it. It hasn't quite worked out. So one would imagine then he'll leave the red close to the 8 ball, just north of it, for a double. He's just lined that up now. It would have been a Brucey bonus if that yellow had been flicked in, because it just removes some traffic from autopilot's way. This isn't routine from here.
No, it's not. And for me, he's got to play the double last.
Could be a crucial frame in both of these two's respective tournaments. That was well cued. This is a big shot. It's a fairly routine double, but anytime you leave it as your last ball, there always comes with it that little bit of extra pressure. Must make it. Yeah, lovely shot. And a good out from Shaun Storry, who looks the more comfortable in this second set so far. Oh, that's going to be dry. It's got to start now for Jake, you feel. It's not quite the last chance saloon, but it's the bar one door down. Moves that yellow away from the pocket, opens it up for the red just below the baulk line if he wants it. Plays a good area. Now it's to unpick these reds to the top of the table. He's got a lovely natural angle to land on his awkward one on the right side rail. really routine reverse clearance would go down a treat for Jake McCartney. It will be a big boon to himself and his supporters. Not settled yet in this second set.
He didn't want the kiss on the red.
No, he didn't. He didn't play it that way. He's played it lovely in the end.
As soon as he hit that red, I thought, oh god. But he's all right.
Yeah, he's absolutely perfect. Really needed this. Just to reset and get himself back on track. Lovely finish, 3-2, back in the game.
It's affecting the game, and having Jake around he sort of said something to me one evening that hit home for me, and yeah, but he's a good guy to have around. Well, the big break. He's certainly hitting him well.
He is indeed.
Extension call.
It looks like it will have to be yellows, you'd imagine. But this is a fiddly sort of finish, and it's finishes like these which Jake has made a bit of heavy weather of. I mean, in truth, he's made heavy weather of a lot of his finishes in this match. He's not been at the peak of his powers. He's gone over the line. He's found ways to dig out. Sometimes in a semi-final, that's what's required.
He may try and play this like yellow that's close to off the red. Because he's then clearing both top pockets. Yeah, not sure.
Yeah, good call. Is he tempted to play the yellow over the hole?
I think if you're going to play it, you get rid of this one down here first, because really this is the only pocket that goes in as such.
Yeah, he's still on track. I'll take one of the two to the right here. But the two yellows either side of the 8-ball are his biggest consternation right now. As he hit the gap. Oh, I'm not sure he has. That looks mighty tight to me. I don't think he can get through to that. Might have to take the yellow to the top right first. If that's the case, he's going into that area. Needs to judge this well. Might have been the plan all along.
Get to roll a little bit more. I think if he just... Can he not play the 8-ball off the face of the red right at the top of the table? I think he might be okay here, you know?
Yeah, he can just screw back off the first yellow. Could go either way here. But he's going to play the one over the hole first.
I don't think he needs to play any cannons here. Oh, he has done. As long as that goes, I think it does. From the overhead it does. I think he's okay. Yeah, I think it goes. I think he's fine.
Oh, it's always such a risk leaving a cannon until that point in the frame, but it's come out clutch.
He's got to judge this now. Just screw softly between the red and the 8-ball. Even going to the red. Yeah, lovely shot. Great shot.
Back in the game. We're level in the second set. Oh, 8-ball right in motion.
I was thinking he'd leave himself no shot, I don't think.
Well, I'm not sure he's got a huge amount to look at here when he comes back to the table. It's a great hit once again from Shaun Storry. Couple of balls down, 8-ball in motion. But look where the white and the yellow have ended up. There's not an obvious first shot here.
Off the cushion, chopping it into the middle. Nice shot.
Oh, and if he's on his difficult one down the bottom rail, it's a great shot.
His only issue is if he's straight.
Yeah, he's absolutely dead straight. You're going to see a little tilt of the head there. He's a little bit annoyed with that, but generally speaking, you've got to be pretty pleased with that shot. He'd have just loved to have been a little bit off the cushion. This next shot will be tough. Just accepts distance.
Yeah, I mean, here you just got to concentrate on the pot. He's guaranteed position. Yeah, lovely cueing.
Yeah, sometimes pool can be a very complicated game. The patterns and the loads of different things, the spin, all the rest of it. But sometimes it's a very simple one. Just pot the ball. That's all Shaun Storry had to do there. Made it look simple as well. This is a fine response so far. Oh, come back on that a little bit further than he wanted to. Oh, the plan would have been to just drop that one through. And have to clip it into the middle now. He's still fine. Crunch. That break from at one stage being quite comfortably probably his biggest weakness is turning into his biggest strength at the moment.
I hope it's catching.
Hope it's catching like this winter cold.
Yeah.
Well, this is it's a decent chance if you can get your first one away. Tough first shot. Oh, he's not really been rewarded. He's got another tough one.
Great cueing again from Jake, though. I think he's on this.
Oh, he can get through. That makes a big difference. Yeah, it makes a big difference there. I didn't think you could see it, so yeah, this is a slightly more presentable chance now. I think he just has to mind his work around the top left corner pocket. Don't think both go. They may well do. Past that annoying red. May just have to use one of them to bump it out of the way.
I think I'm with you. I don't think they both go. Just got to make sure he goes high enough here. It would be easier to land too low. See there, obviously if he goes too high, he's still on the one in the middle, you see, so it's an important shot that, and I think he's just got perfectly just drop through and play the awkward yellow in the opposite corner pocket.
Yeah, that's great. Lovely stuff from Jake. So it'll be top right, top left, and then the 8-ball. Does look like the one closest to the pocket does go, but this was his tricky one.
Yeah, that's right. I think he's just got to screw this on and off the rail because I think he's got too much angle here to actually top through. It looks very different. Yeah, there you go. See, so he's screwing on and off the same cushion. Yeah, nice shot. And a perfect angle just to drop down. Hasn't got to even worry about the cue ball. That'll just take care of itself. Make sure you get the pot. The cue ball will just track towards the 8-ball naturally.
Oh, what a break and run this is going to be from Jake McCartney. Quality. We are not far away from the 15-second section of the set. 37 seconds away, in fact, so we'll see it in the next frame. Oh, what a break. Wow. What a break. This is one of those where if Shaun Storry needed to clear this away in 30 seconds, he'd give it a damn good go.
This is like the full frame version of Brian Alcro's 6 red masterpiece. These are just sat up going, pop me, pop me. These are perfect.
Red balls in play. 15-second shot clock in.
As you heard there from Scott Price, 15 seconds from here on out. That initial transition can catch players out, but on this visit, I don't think Shaun will worry too much.
Well, he's not landed perfect, he should be absolutely fine. Just puts him under a little bit more pressure queuing over the 8 ball, of course, but...
Yeah, never in doubt, didn't have to do anything with the cue ball. And once again, Shaun Storry hits the front in the second set. Jake keeps coming back, but eventually if you keep hitting the front, you'll hit the finish line.
With all the experience,
just you thinks that.
With all the experience you picked up, do you reckon you might want to get your cue out and give it a go yourself?
Well, you've seen me have a few knocks around this club. I'll let you be the judge of that. Oh, Jake's dry.
He hit them well as well. Look at them for a split. That's when you don't need a dry break.
This could break the back of the set for Shaun Storry, and indeed the match. 2 frames clear. If he's clever, and Shaun is, he'll run as much of the clock down on this visit as he can.
Yellow balls in play.
2 frames clear. You're thinking 6 minutes-ish left to go.
Can he play the yellow in the middle of the table off the red that's covering the one over the middle? He isn't playing it. I think he could have played that shot.
Is he going to play the plan?
No, I don't think he needs to.
Oh, neither do I. Just thought he was lining it up for a second. No, it is the one over the hole.
Just going to create an angle on. So, well, okay, he's probably going to leave it till last then. Top left, middle, bottom right, top left, 8 ball. I think that will be the path. Maybe not.
It still could be.
Yeah, I think it will be. Get that a little bit firmer than he wanted to. Now this can go wrong. He can knock the 8 ball safe, he could snooker himself, so he's just got to be mindful here of what he's doing with the cue ball.
Played it brilliantly. Played it brilliantly.
Yeah, it's a nice shot.
Judged it really well. 6-4 incoming, you feel, when Shaun Storry would be 1 frame away from the final.
Do you feel that he's got to that stage of the match now, though? Obviously, Jake there with the dry break. I mean, he's hit them really, really well. And it's always unfortunate when you don't pot from a break like that. But do the missed chances now play on Jake's mind a little bit? And is he ruined those couple of errors that he made earlier on?
Jake McCartney may well have played his last shot in the tournament.
Oh. Very nearly dry, held his hand up there.
And if Shaun Storry can hold himself together, Jake McCartney will have played his last shot in the Pro Cup 2022. Just needs to figure out his pattern here. There's a few different ways he can go.
Yellow balls in play.
Going to go yellows, which a little bit surprising, I must say. The yellow next to the red at the top of your picture there looks to me like a bit of a problem ball. I think all the reds had a pocket.
They can get it out now, though. Perfect angle.
But as we're often told by you guys, Jimmy, it really is a case of whatever you see first on this shot clock, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely right.
Instinct must take over.
It looks like Shaun's going to get that monkey off his back and get to another final.
Yeah, he said, didn't he, earlier on, that he didn't want to almost become known as Mr. Semi-Final. He's had a fair few of them.
Oh.
Well, that's a shocker.
I think that is just a rush of blood to the head, knowing that he's got two simple balls, and he looks like he played it really, really quickly.
He can't believe it.
Wow.
Surely there isn't more drama to come. I mean, this is a pure aberration.
No, it's just a miss. I mean, from his reaction, you'd think he'd got a bit of a bad contact or something, but I think he's just missed that.
Oh, it's an awful shot. It's as bad a shot as we've seen Shaun Storry play all tournament.
Don't dress it up, JMO, whatever you do. Why don't you tell us what you really feel?
Oh, he will feel absolutely sick at that. The good news for Shaun Storry and his supporters is that he's still going to have another chance to win the match outright. He does have another break. He will be breaking in 2 frames time, but you can see that's playing on his mind. You don't want to leave anything to chance. 3.5 minutes to go. Jake McCartney to go back within 1. And he's going to be breaking to send us to a decider. And he needs to do it pretty quickly. 3 minutes and 17 seconds left on the clock. Jake McCartney must win the next 2 frames. Throws everything at it. 8 ball moving.
Oh, nothing.
But no friends.
Wow. The way he's breaking as well, I mean, he deserves a ball. Let's have it right, he does.
And Shaun Storry can just see it out. Extension called. You'll hear the beeps on pretty much every shot here, just to make sure. But Jake McCartney really needed a ball there. He needed this one to be his quick frame if he was to do both. Shaun with the next break.
Well, that's not the best shot in the world, because he just needed to keep potting balls here, Shaun.
He's not on, is he? He's not on one.
He's not on one. He's going to have to play a double to keep going. It's a natural angle to come around and going off here as well. Yes, he's played that well. He needed that. But there's pressure on this part, because if he misses this, there is time for Jake. As difficult as these balls are.
The only issue for Jake is he's got to worry about the frame after that as well.
Oh, see,
the draw's no good. Jake's got to fly.
Yeah, he has. He has got to fly.
He's got 2 minutes to win 2 frames. He can get 1 for sure. If it was his break next, he could maybe just hope for the chance of the golden break. But with Shaun's break next, that does give him a degree of insurance. Can McCartney pull out an all-timer?
What a shot. What a shot that is. He's on this one. He's on it. That is an unbelievable first shot from where he was. Under the pressure, under the circumstances. Make sure of this one, Jake. And you've got a great chance of winning this frame. Shot. if he clears these up, he's going to leave 30 seconds maybe on Shaun's break.
If that.
He needs to go quick.
Yeah, now they're all there, he can't hang about.
I feel that he's just taking a little bit too much time here. I think he just wants to make sure and give himself a chance, because let's be honest, there is a chance of a golden duck, of course.
Yeah, if Shaun Storry hits this next break with anything like the amount of power required for that, I'd be amazed. But stranger things have happened.
They have.
Not many.
Great shot from Jake. It's a lovely shot that is from Jake McCartney. You have to hurry up, Jake. He can get down to 20 seconds. He can give himself half a chance. But it's a very, very slim chance. It's just not going to be enough time.
No. That was the insurance policy I spoke about. It's going to be a brilliant clearance from Jake McCartney. Absolutely outstanding clearance. And there will be time for the break in the decider. And the final is just this break. Wants to hit a legal break, because it's a re-rack. Jake will have the break. Now then. There we have it. It was almost a foul, and then Shaun did remind Scott that it was all right. And eventually, Shaun Storry is over the line.